Hello again. Right, this time the block I'm going to be doing is this little cat here. For that you're going to need a green for the bottom, which is 2.5 by 12.5. The blue backgrounds you need 5 2.5 by 4.5. Then you need 2 2.5 inch squares. They're bigger than 2.5. 2 2.5 inch squares. They look a lot bigger than 2.5. Then they are bigger than 2.5. There's me 2.5. Then in the orange, you need, I've got 2 different types of orange, but mine's more, because I'm wanting it to represent Christmas. There's a gingerbread house, but the other one I've got is an autumnal. So you need 3 2.5 by 4.5 and then you need 1 2.5 by 4.5 of the other type of fabric. Then you need 2 2.5 inch squares of that one and 4 2.5 inch squares of that one. You also need a 2.5 inch half square triangle, which I've cut the 3.5, and you need one of those with the other orange fabric, and you also need 4 of them with background. So just need 2 because you're getting 2 half square triangles out of them. So that's what you need for them. So I'm going to make the half square triangles first, like we did on the previous block, and then we'll lay it out on the design board. Okay, so I've placed all my pieces onto the board. They're a bit scrunched up, but again, it's apart from the bottom green row, they're all it's gonna measure 6 by 6 2.5 inch squares. So I'm now going to start and put them together. So I've started to join them together, but what I found was, because this block here I'd done as a 2.5 by 4.5, and to help it fit with my sewing the pieces together, I've actually cut it to 2.5 by 2.5 to help it fit. So I've just got to sew this one onto this end, and then that's the first, well, the second and third row done, and I can sew it to the green on the bottom. So there's the first 3 rows. I need to cut another 2.5 by 2.5 inch square for the next row, because I cut that other one down, and then I can start and sew the top 3 rows together. So that's the top 3 rows. This block would have certainly gone to bed together a lot easier if I'd have used all 2.5 inch squares instead of the 2.5 by 4.5, because I couldn't do straight rows. I've had to add a couple and then join a long one and then add another bit on the top. So it would have been a lot better had I just done them all as 2.5 inch blocks. So there's my little cat block with him standing on the grass. I think he looks quite cute in those fabrics. So I'll put, as I say, I'll put the description for what you need, fabric requirements in the description. But what I will do is put them as 2.5 inch squares rather than the 2.5 by 4.5, because that's definitely the way to go, I think, rather than having the 2.5 by 4.5. Thank you.